Welcome back. It is Wednesday, September 20th, and the MLB. Our three favorite picks are on the way. I am back, but of course, joined by Logan, who carried us to a 2-1 day yesterday. Hey, we'll take that. The Bobby Witt Jr. Altuve hit parlay, the least sweat-free you'll ever find. I mean, it was absolutely sweat-free. Both guys got it done in the first at bat. Red Sox Rangers over 4.5 needed a sweat into the bottom of the fifth, but we'll take that. Then our one loss was on the hook. The Nationals team total over 4.5, end up with 4 on the dot. Had plenty of chances. I mean, they went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. We can't get that sweep, but hopefully we can today. We feel good about our three plays. We have a lot of early action today, so make sure you're getting these plays locked in early. We've got a lot of early games today, and you know what? If you are new, hit that subscribe button, drop a like too. We've had 3 straight winning days. Let's try to make it 4 today, and let's start with this pick. One of my favorites on the slate. I'm going to the White Sox and Nationals, the scene of the crime. Taking the over, 9 runs in that game, minus 120 on FanDuel. I really do think this line does go up to 9.5 by first pitch, which is right around 1:05 p.m. Eastern time. So get your pick locked in if you are, and hopefully if you're watching this later on, there's a bunch of runs coming in this game. Because like I said, or at the top of the show, the Nationals hurt us yesterday, ruined our sweep. They went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position, ending with 4 runs. They had a guy a leadoff triple in the first inning, which ended up not being that he couldn't get the guy home on the leadoff triple. Just absolutely brutal. That ended up being the difference there. But I think they're easily scoring 5 runs today, and hopefully they get us even more to cash the regular full game over. Now, let's talk about Michael Kopech, who's scheduled to start for the White Sox today. It appears he will be an opener like they've used him for the past couple weeks. I can only guess who comes after him. It is Tanner Banks is my guess, but obviously I am not the White Sox manager. I don't know who comes after him, but either way, Kopech, 5.9 ERA on the road. Banks owns a 4.94 ERA on the road, and regardless, I hope it's Banks because he is a lefty, and the Nationals do hit lefties better, but I don't really care, honestly, who comes out of the White Sox. I mean, it's a team that has the 6th worst bullpen ERA over the last 15 games. So, throw whoever you want out there. The bullpen has sucked all year long. I don't expect whoever they trot in there to be that bulk kind of guy to cover a lot of ground here. I really do think the Nationals offense will have some success against the White Sox and score some runs today. But on the other side, you can't really have a whole hitting over with just one team scoring. We're going to need the White Sox bats to show up, and I think they show up today against Josiah Gray, who's scheduled to start for the Nationals. Now, you look at his stats, 4.07 ERA and a 1.47 whip on the year. Pretty decent. However, at home, those numbers go skyrocketing to the moon. 5.83 ERA, 1.7 whip, and a 277 batting average allowed at home this season. He's absolutely just struggled in National Park. I don't know what it is, because normally you see guys pitch a lot better at home, but no, he's been absolutely terrible at home and actually been very, very good on the road, which I think Logan took advantage of in his last road start. But still, this is a guy that has nearly identical splits versus righties and lefties, so I'm not concerned about if they want to stack lefties or stack righties in the lineup. And this is a White Sox team that likes to swing for the fences, and Josiah Gray's been giving up those home run balls at home this season. And look, I think Josiah Gray's going to have a little bit of struggles today against the White Sox. And also, when he comes out, the Nats bullpen hasn't been good either. Their 5th worst bullpen ERA over the last 15 games. So you get 2 bottom, 6 bullpens over the last 2 weeks, and you get two teams that I think it's put up some runs. I don't trust any of their pitching, which is why you don't see us normally back either of them to win a game. But when they're matched up today, everyone was on the over yesterday because they looked at Urania, who had like a 9 ERA, looked at Jackson Rutledge in his second career start with like a 15 ERA. Yeah, no, they didn't get the over. But yesterday, we also saw the Nationals bullpen use their 3 best arms. I think we get to see a lot of runs early in this game versus Kopech and whoever starts for the Whites or whoever comes after him for the White Sox. Also, some runs late against these 2 bullpens. Give me the over 9, 4 runs each by each of the teams will at least get a push. But I think we get over this 9.5, which I anticipate the line to be by first pitch. So that's the first pick of the day. White Sox Nationals over 9, one of the earliest starts on this game. That's my first pick. But Logan, what's your pick going to go? You're going to a later game.
Yeah, I am going to a later game tonight. I'm going to the Brewers and Cardinals game, and I'm taking the under 4.5 in the first 5 innings. Minus 115 odds on DraftKings, currently your best value there. Now, we have been really successful with the first 5 over-unders. It's just been one of those bets that's been working for us. So we had to work one into the slate today, and I really do like this one because a little bit of prop line reading is going into this play. You look at both starting pitchers in this one. Obviously, that's why we are in the first 5, so we don't have to worry about bullpens. But both starting pitchers have a 2.5 earned run line with plus 125 on the over. So you look at these 2 guys, they are far from aces, Adrian Hauser and Zach Thompson. How are, if the plus 125 is free as air on both of them, well, I'll just sit back and say I was wrong. But that earned run line is very similar to Urania's earned run line yesterday, and we saw he cooked them. I'm done fading him. Like I retired from fading Urania, and he had a line similar to them. And I think once again, we see a lower scoring game from these 2 starting pitchers. After 8 runs scored in the first 5 yesterday, I think the pendulum swings back to the first 5 under today. that's kind of what recipe I used for that Rangers game yesterday. I said barely any runs scored in the first five. Oh, it did go over for us yesterday. Let's start with Zach Thompson for the Cardinals. 3.06 ERA and a 1.22 WHIP at home. He's been a much better pitcher at home compared to the 6.53 ERA on the road. That makes sense to me. A pitcher like Thompson, who's been erratic at times this year, is a lot more comfortable at home, and that's what he gets today. As I mentioned above, his earned run line is plus 125 on the over. That's something he's been over in 3 straight. If that's free as air, then once again, enjoy the free money. Maybe go hedge your bet on that. But I'm just saying, I would be pretty surprised if he goes out and hosts batting practice. I do like the fact that he has 6 strikeouts in 2 out of his last 3 starts. Swing and a miss is big against this Milwaukee team. I've seen the Brewers really struggle at times this year with striking out on non-competitive pitches, and hopefully Zach Thompson's able to get those crucial 2 strike counts and able to get the 3rd strike in those counts, because that's really what decides the difference between a lot of these games. Look at Milwaukee hitting 277 in their last 5 games versus lefties. Obviously, Thompson needs to be sharp. The Brewers enter this game hitting lefties really well recently. Could that be due some regression? Maybe, but what I do know is that even if they are getting the hits, they still have to convert those hits into runs, and the Brewers offense is only 26th in runs on the road. They've just not been the same team on the road that they have been at home. I'll go ahead and take a shot on the Brewers offense, being mediocre today. With 4.5, we do have some wiggle room. Now we need Adrian Hauser to go out and also have a good start. 4.41 ERA and a 1.49 WHIP on the road for Hauser. Obviously, that WHIP is a little bit high. It does scare me. But we look at Hauser's last 3 starts. He's been pretty solid. 2, 4, and 1 earned runs. Obviously, we cannot afford the 4 earned run performance. But Hauser's kind of been a mixed bag. He's been a mixed bag all of his career. Some you probably pretty much know by the first inning what Adrian Hauser you're getting. We get the 2 to 3 Cardinals runs in the first 5 innings. This bet is cooked. But Hauser has been really good recently at keeping the walks down. He has 1 walk or less in every start since August 3rd. Against a bad offense like St. Louis, you just cannot afford to be giving them free base runners, and hopefully Hauser stays dialed in for us today. Cardinals are only hitting 232 in their last 3 games, so like I said, you got to make them work it. You got to make the Cardinals earn those runs and via runners in scoring position and those crucial base hits. If the Cardinals don't get the timely hitting, I think Adrian Hauser can go out and have a solid showing. I mean, we've seen it before. He's up and down pitcher, but I will take my chances. I do really like this one as my first 5 pick. But Austin, you got a last pick for us. Where are you going?
Yeah, before I wrap it up, I forgot to mention at the top of the show, our Dimers Parlay of the Day is live on their site, so you can go check it out. Top link in description. 3 players each get a hit. It's smacked on Monday. Hopefully we can smack another one. We won't track it towards our official record, but Logan and I, of course, are going to sprinkle a little bit of our own money on it. Go check it out. Top link in description. Should be live by the time the video goes live. If not, just wait a little bit on. I'll tweet it out later. But for our 3rd and final pick of the day, let's try to get our 4th straight winning day and hopefully get over that 30-unit mark. Going to the Mariners Athletics and taking the over 8 runs in that one, minus 115 on FanDuel. If you are on a book and you're like, Austin, I can't find this one, it is a 3:38 p.m. Eastern, but there is a questionable here because I think a lot of books are waiting to officially see who Oakland is starting, but out of all the reports I've seen and everything I've seen online, it appears to be Joey Estes making his MLB debut, which we'll talk about in a little bit. George Kirby is confirmed to go for the Mariners. But let's talk about Kirby first and why I think that the A's team might actually score some runs today. But you look at Kirby, he'll start for the Mariners, 3.99 ERA and a 1.19 WHIP. And a 276 batting average allowed on the road this season. You look at his home stats, he's been locked in. A whip at like 0.91 at home, like a 215 batting average allowed at home. However, he's on the road today, and this is an A's team that I actually seen him decently. At 49 plate appearances, 14.3 K percentage, and 262 expected batting average. Look, I'm not going to come out here and say the A's win this one outright. I'm not going to do that because that's ludicrous. This is an A's team that's trying to tank. However, Kirby has been a little bit shaky on the road. I mean, you look at his last couple road starts, last 4 to be specific. Here's his earned runs line: 4, 3, 3, and 4 earned runs. It's been to the Royals, White Sox, Mets, and Rays. So we're not saying, hey, he's facing the Dodgers and Braves every single game. He's faced some bad offenses in there like the White Sox and still been getting cooked by them and giving up some runs. Well, sure, the A's are probably bottom of the barrel offense. I still think they have a chance to get up some runs on Kirby today. It would not surprise me if an A's team that has only scored 2 runs or less in 4 straight games comes out here and somehow puts up a weird number against Kirby. No, if they put up 3 or 4 and run versus Kirby, I think we're in a great spot spot to cash this bet. I think the A's bats, who have been ice cold recently, they could heat up against George Kirby. Everyone's going to be on his outs line because it was like it opened at like minus 115. George Kirby always gets 6 innings pitched. Go hammer his minus 140, his outs prop now. I just am saying I could see the A's putting up some runs today against Kirby, or at least getting some timely, maybe getting some guys on base, maybe making his life difficult. George Kirby, we know, is a guy that does not walk guys. He throws strikes. That's ideal for an athletics team that I don't really think they have any interest in taking walks. I think they're swinging the bat, and they're going to get strikes to hit, and they could absolutely hit something against Kirby. It's not crazy to say George Kirby, again, that struggled on the road this season. Maybe the A's bats heat up a little bit today and get some runs. But on the other side, we're going to need some runs for the Mariners because the A's are not scoring 9 runs to cash this line by themselves. We're going to need some runs up against Joey Estes, who I talked about at the top of the show. He will make his MLB debut. And in AAA, he didn't do too well. 6 starts, 7 appearances, 5.23 ERA, and a 21.5 K percentage. Now, in AA and single A, he pitched pretty decently. He relied on those Ks to get guys out. However, the K percentage dropped off in AAA, and the guys made him pay, posting a 5.23 ERA in AAA. Not a great sign for him against the Mariners today. Obviously, an MLB team. And look, he's going to have his work cut out for him against the Mariners team with everything to play for. This is a Mariners team that has taken a little bit of a slide over the past week or two after their insane August. They've kind of slid back a little bit in September. But they still have everything in front of them. They got to play, and they got to go out there and get wins. They got to, work those at-bats. This is a Mariners team that we can't see them swinging first pitch unless it's an absolute meatball over the middle of the plate. This is a team that's going to work those at-bats, and I think Estes is going to give them pitches to hit or not to hit, and he'll just be walking bad, which we've seen guys over the last couple of weeks really struggle in their first ever MLB debut. It's not, crazy to say, hey, a guy's going to have a little bit of jitters when he comes out of the AAA, making that debut with a bunch of his family and friends in the stands. Would it be surprising if he struggled a little bit today? No. Joey Estes struggled in AAA, likely struggles in the majors. But either way, we've seen over the last 15 games, when Estes comes out, the Athletics bullpen is going to come in, and they have the 7th highest bullpen ERA over the past 15 games. The Mariners do have the 11th lowest, but like any bullpen, they can all give up runs. And I certainly think the A's bullpen will give up some runs late after Estes comes out. We also could see the Mariners give up some runs late, too, when Kirby comes out, too. I just think this is a good spot here. We do have push potential on this at 8 and the one I talked about earlier at 9, but I really do like their lines if they do go up to 8.5 or 9.5 for that first game we talked about. I really think this is a good spot for us taking over. I think the A's bats show up. Hopefully the Mariners bats stay a little bit hot like they have been the past couple games. Give me the over 8 runs in that game. But of course, we appreciate you guys as always for tuning in. Parlay of the day, dropping on the screen. If you want to go check out our second channel, we do have my first Hawaii vlog dropping over there, and we are donating 10 cents for every new subscriber we gain in the month of September. So go show that channel some love. I'll post that video live on this one. Once it is live, I'll post a little link here. But either way, appreciate you guys as always. Austin Logan signing out. We'll see you guys back in tomorrow for some more picks, hopefully with a 4th straight winning day. We'll see you guys then. Peace.